Meeting in just a moment. He's gonna be, oh no, she's gonna be rounding the corner with my coworker Julie. Let's see, there's Julie. Everybody say hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
And then there is the beautiful Zola. Everybody say, what's up, Zola?
What's crack-a-lackin'?
Okay, Zola is, does anyone know what type of animal she is?
Adorable.
She is an adorable animal. Oh, I heard it over there.
Probably
She
sick of
is
me
an
saying that.
aardvark. Very good. Okay, a lot of people guess anteater though. And if that's what was in your head, don't feel bad. That is our most common guess. We almost always get anteater because, I mean, look at them. They look kind of like an anteater, right? But believe it or not, aardvarks are not at all related to anteaters. They're more closely related to animals like elephants and manatees than they actually are to anteaters. So even though they look a little bit like them, it's known as this phrase in evolutionary biology called convergent evolution. Fancy, fancy phrase. That means animals have evolved, different parts of the world have similar traits and adaptations, but they're not at all related.
Climbing over those logs.
That's the aardvark and the anteater. Anteaters are found in Central and South America. Aardvarks are found in Africa. Zola, get him! Oh. They're found only in Africa, and they are perfectly adapted to life
Attack
out in
aardvark.
Africa.
I like that idea.
They look like a Frankenstein animal, in my opinion. They have a bunch of different animal parts put together to create this very funny-looking, awesome creature. So we have, I think, like rabbit ears, kind of an armadillo back, a kangaroo tail, right? Really sharp claws. What do you guys think those sharp claws are for? It's not climbing trees. That would be kind of funny. Digging. Yes. Believe it or not, this very large animal lives underground. There are nocturnal species that dig burrows underground. And these burrow systems can be really extensive. They can be 6 feet underground, 40 feet wide. That's about the size of a school bus. Different entrances and exits. And it's really beneficial for aardvarks, especially being nocturnal, to live underground. Any thoughts as to why? Why might it be beneficial or helpful for a big animal like this to be underground in Africa during the day? Any thoughts? Kind of hot out there, right? So being underground keeps them nice and cool, and also, even though they're pretty big animal, they're still a prey animal. So being underground, being able to retreat to safety is a great way to stay safe from predators. Maybe animals like lions, cheetahs, hyenas, leopards, a pack of painted dogs, you know, any of those predators you can think of out in Africa would gladly take an aardvark out to lunch. So they use those sharp claws for digging those burrows. They also use them for accessing their food. Any guesses what they're eating out in Africa? It's not hamburgers and hot dogs. What do we think? Good. A cucumber. What? A cucumber? You're actually right. That is, though, the very not common food item on the aardvark's menu is something called an aardvark cucumber. They're the only animal that can actually spread the seeds of this fruit that's underground. So they have a symbiotic relationship with it. They're the only animal that can eat it and spread its seeds. And then the fruit gets its seed spread, right? But that is their kind of like their not so common food item. Their most common food item, termites. They are insectivores, which means they eat insects. Now here at the zoo, we're not allowed to play with termites. Our neighbors would be not so happy. Instead, Zola has a wonderful nutritionist that has decided mealworms are a perfect alternative. So that is what Julie is feeding Zola around the stage, and Zola loves them. So I have these tubes filled with mealworms here. I am gonna screw them into our faux termite mound. Maybe, to give you guys a look at what it might look like when an aardvark finds a termite mound out in Africa. So they're gonna use those incredibly sharp claws to rip it open, right? We're all about sustainability here at the zoo. We would like to use this again tomorrow. So we have pre-drilled holes for her. All she has to do is use her incredible sense of smell to find where I put them every day. It's different. And she has a really cool tool to get access to those bugs. Let's see. Just sniff, and then, can anyone see? You might be able to see on this side, and don't worry if you don't have a good view over there. I have another way to show you, but maybe there. Nice. Just like the aardvarks have their own tunnel systems, so do the termites in the termite mounds. That's how they stay safe, right? but really it's no match for an aardvark and that really long tongue. Now don't feel bad if you didn't see it. I have this little portable termite mound. I'll show you guys once over here, and then I'll go right over there. I'm gonna fill up this tube with these worms, and Zola will give you a close-up look. All right, Z. Top aardvark speed. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Nice. Very good, Zola. That tongue is almost 8 foot long, rope tongue. Almost 8 foot long, and not only is it so long, it's also really sticky. You might be able to see inside now. Oh, it's just coated in saliva. Now that sounds kind of gross, right? You know, working with aardvarks is a bit of a dirty job, but we love our job. It sounds gross, but the aardvark is 120 pounds. They need 50,000 insects every night to sustain that body size. So having a sticky tongue makes it as efficient as possible when they're eating. All they have to do is stick their tongue inside the termite mound, all the bugs stick around, and they're able to swallow up as much termites as they possibly can. Let's do it one more time. And you can see when I pour it in the second time. Just stick to the side. Oh man, I heard Julie's gonna give high fives later. Zola gets, I get to feed her from this tube, but Julie doesn't. All right, nice. And notice when she's eating, her eyes tend to close and her ears tend to turn backwards. Now those are both natural instinctual behaviors. Think about both of those. Why might Zola be closing her eyes when she's eating from a termite mound? Why might her ears instinctually turn backwards? Do you guys have any thoughts? What about the bugs? To keep the bugs out. Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right. When a termite mound gets attacked, the termites are gonna fight back, right? So of course they're gonna start swarming their face. They close their eyes to keep the bugs out of their eyes. They also have the ability to close off their nostrils, so no bugs can go up their nose either. Now their ears are turning backwards. They are always listening for predators. Always listening for predators. That's completely instinctual. Now she's giving you another look at how she's foraging at one of our smaller termite mounds. Now fortunately, aardvarks are not considered endangered, though they do share range with a lot of endangered species out in Africa, many of which our organization works really hard to protect. We can think of some of the obvious ones, right? Like the elephants, the giraffes, the rhinos. And you guys, by coming here and visiting us today, are making a positive impact on wildlife, so we can never thank you enough. But before we wrap this up, I am wondering if there is a brave volunteer out there to help me with something. I need help from a very brave volunteer. In the back! Your hand shot up! Come on over here. She has no idea what she signed up for, though. All right, my friend. What is your name? Tani. Nice to meet you, Tani. Okay, so I have this tube here. I am going to fill it up with worms. You're going to come on in here, Tani. And you are going to have a bug eating contest with Zola. Okay, I've just filled up a little bit more. Maybe your tongue can't reach the bottom. What do you think? All right, Tani, instead, how about we feed her? I'm going to open this up. You're going to come on, put your feet right up against the curb, not stepping onto the stage. Hold that in your left hand.
Always
and
funny.
Put it right on the stump. Zola's going to come on over, put her feet over, start eating, and you're welcome to give her some pets on the back.
Even if I see it multiple times a week,
No bug eating contest
it's still
today.
funny.
There she goes. Nice. Tani, what does she feel like? Of course. Yes, absolutely. A lot of people have described her as feeling like a coconut or like a kiwi, right? But one time this little girl said she feels happy. And I love that answer so much. Let's give our volunteer a round of applause, you guys. Tani, thank you so much for coming up. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Zola has been doing such a great job. She can head off whenever she'd like. But I would love to open it up for any questions. Does anybody have any questions about aardvarks, about Zola, about Julie? Yeah.
Can they swim?
Can they swim? That's a good question. You know, there's not a lot of research done on aardvarks out in the wild. They're very elusive. In fact, we actually had a researcher, this comes back to your question, I promise. We had a researcher over at the safari park that studied aardvarks, and he said his entire career he never even saw one. So it's tough to see them out in the wild. That being said, there's not a lot of research done on them. I don't know if there's anything that is recorded aardvark swimming. It would be cool to be the first to see, though. If anyone knows, let me know. Any other questions? Yeah. Do people eat them? You know, they're not highly hunted like for bushmeat out in Africa, but they have been. Although that's not really what their main threats are. Their main threats are more habitat loss and drought. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Do you just have the one aardvark?
Do we just have the one? No, Zola. Zola is actually the mother of one of the baby aardvarks that we have. Her name is Nandi. So we have three. We have Zola, her baby daddy is on, and then their baby Nandi. Yeah. Good question. Well, all right, you guys, I have a couple minutes of cleanup. If you think of anything else question-wise, come on up. Everyone else, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you. After Rocks 1-7.